إن شاء الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Friday or Saturday or Sunday, inshallah, most likely Sunday, the first day of the Ramadan, inshallah. May Allah make Ramadan mercy for all Muslims, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Rab. And everybody preparing for Ramadan. But Brother Mohammed actually just came early. He was discussing, and even the phone before we arrived home, we discussed about the very important topic, especially our family. Our family, everybody in Ramadan now, they eating together and fun together.
Yeah.
I consider actually the Ramadan is the best time to be united, especially the family, everybody.
Absolutely.
But the key, most likely, who's cooking in the house?
Of course, the mom.
The mom or the wife?
The wife, yeah.
Yeah, but except our house. Honestly, we walk together in the kitchen, we clean together, and everything together. Alhamdulillah. A lot of houses like this. The key, our kids also.
Yeah.
Our kids is the amana. Brother and sister will be very important. We are responsible for our kids.
Oh, absolutely.
So the tahrim, Allah says, قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ, protect yourself and your family from the hellfire.
Absolutely.
That's who said, Allah says that.
Yeah.
And we are now the era of the internet.
Yeah.
The
Social media.
Social media.
Social media.
Brother
Very,
Muhammad,
very important.
let's speak about Ramadan, how the family, and number one, to guard and guide our kids.
Yeah, this is like the topic of the weeks, right? Is Ramadan, because it's getting closer
Yes.
and closer. And so we talked about a lot of different things, right? And how we can kind of make Ramadan fun, right? Make it interesting, make it
fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because we live in a westernized country where we talk about, Christmas is super fun, Thanksgiving is fun. And it's like, we live amongst these people that celebrate these, fake holidays. Let's just say that.
Fake holidays. Agree.
Right. And,
Agree.
And probably, somebody's going to hear that and get upset with me for saying that, but it's fake. We know it's not real. We know, it's just a way of marketing and spending money and all this kind of stuff, when we know that we have the real holiday and we look at it as a burden. A lot of family members, a lot of parents, a lot of, older generation. Oh my gosh, it's Ramadan. And that kind of feedback, that kind of talk at home, that kind of speech at home in front of your kids, they feel it. And so they start to say that stuff. Oh, Ramadan's coming. And, they hear your mom say it, they hear your dad saying it. So then they're going to think, oh my gosh, Ramadan is such a complicated, boring, annoying thing where, it's just a matter of what you're saying, right? I think we had a whole topic on the power of words, right? How you say things, how you speak, how you, and we also spoke a lot about how the kids mimic, right? They copy us.
They copy us. Agree.
They copy with what we say. They copy with what we feel. They copy how our senses are. They copy our habits. So if we're going out with our kids and we're going in front of our kids and we're saying, oh, Ramadan's coming, and we're in anxiety, we're annoyed with it, what do you think our kids are going to feel? Right. So one of the things I've always tried to express with the kids, especially, is that we got to make it a happy month, a happy time, and then this month is where we can kind of connect. Right. You don't have a choice. You have to sit with your kids.
Indeed.
Right. You have to be with your family. So whether you're going to a masjid with your family or you're going home, staying home with your family, this is the time right now where you have those 30 days to make something different. Right. We look at the bad habits and we try to change them. Right. I can go into somebody's house and listen to a conversation for 2 hours and tell them one by one what their bad habits are, but I can't do that with everybody.
No, everyone according to the situation.
It's everybody has their own different, issues. So as a parent, I would sit down the last couple of days before Ramadan starts and say, where am I going wrong? What am I doing? Or what do I got to change? Right. And I think one of the things that we have right now in this day and age is really understanding and talking to our kids about how to be more appreciative of everything that we do have.
I like that.
Right. And so, when you talk about appreciation, we have to remember that, we all go through hard times. Everybody goes through hard times. If you're telling me that you have a perfect life, you're lying to me. There's no such thing as a perfect life. Everybody goes through hard times. It's a matter of understanding that when you're going through something hard or something difficult, there's a reason for it, and that it's going to become there's something good after that. Right. So I know there's like a hadith or something that says, like, out of something bad, something good happens, or something. I don't know. You kind of know better than I do on that.
Here, the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, always a guide. Allah يقول to Surah Al-Baqarah 216 أعوذ بالله وعسى أن تكرهوا شيئا وهو خير لكم وعسى أن تحبوا شيئا وهو شر لكم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. Allah said, and it says وعسى يقول لك مد لازم 6 حركات وعسى you might وعسى أن تكرهوا something you are hating but that is good for you.
Yeah.
وعسى again وعسى أن تحبوا وعسى maybe you might love something and bad for you.
Yeah.
And the key والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. Allah knows and you don't know. Sometimes the habit, the sickness, this, that.
Yeah.
You don't know. Exactly.
And so these are the things that I guess as a parent, I would say, during this time when you're having all the family over, especially when you're having brothers and sisters of the uncles of your kids, because you have stories together, right? As brothers and sisters, you have these stories where you can say, remember when this bad thing happened and we thought it was the end of the world and we thought, we were going to go crazy. We thought we were so upset that this bad thing happened. But then guess what? A year later, 2 years later, this what happened. And something great happened, something fun happened, something exciting happened, or we got the better job, or we ended up getting to college. You use this time to really talk to your kids about understanding that, okay, it's not going to be perfect. There's no such thing as that. But you have to remember, whatever bad you're going through, there's something good going to come out of it.
Yes, always.
Right. And so we look at this, even look at what's happening right now. Right. And one of the things I talk about is like what's happening right now around the world. And there's certain words that we can't say on here so we don't get kicked off or they'll block our videos. But everybody here knows what we're talking about. And there's all that evil, all that disgusting things that's happening, all that nasty stuff that's happening. And I talk to my kids and I talk to the kids about it. I said, but look what's happening from that. People are talking.
Yes, a lot of
people are converting. People are researching. People are reading.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a hadith, or I guess it's something where the Prophet said, or something, Sallallahu said that Islam is going to spread.
Indeed.
Right? All over the world. And look what's happening.
Yes, you're right. Hadith Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was in Mecca. In Mecca, 13 years in Mecca, torturing the Sahaba. And it was next to Kaaba. And one of the Sahaba came to Rasulullah. You know what's happening? The people got killed. You ask Allah for victory. Ask Allah for something like that. And he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And beautiful hadith, but the end of the hadith, at the time, I say, soon, the one will come from Yemen to Hadramaut, from Hadramaut to Mecca, and no one harm him except the wolf come attack him. Why? Because there's peace, Islam. The Islam, the key to understand, Islam what? Peace. Yeah.
And it's funny because even now when we talk to the kids and we talk to the youth about what's going on, because you do see those videos and you see these things that's happening and you see all this stuff and all these kids are sad, they're depressed. They're upset. Why aren't these leaders doing anything? Why is this happening? And I have to remind them, like, look what's happening right now because of what's happening over there with us, with everything we have that we're seeing out there, and everybody's seeing it. No matter how much they try to delete and they try to erase or they try to arrest people or they try to stop the videos from coming out, they can't.
No way.
And so you see that bad things happening, but then you see the good things happen. I swear, wallahi, I see the people coming and asking questions. I see the people coming to the masjids more. I see the people converting faster. I think 5 or 6 years ago, I was doing research on which the religions, and they said Islam will surpass by 2028 or something like that. Islam will
They're
surpass,
increasing.
it'll surpass Christianity and all that, those
Yeah.
religions. And now they're saying 2026 because of
Yes.
how fast it's spreading. They didn't expect,
SubhanAllah.
So then I tell the kids, it's like, think about it like this. If they did over there, overseas, what they did over here, slowly penetrate the kids' minds, slowly put the negative, things in negative images, pornography, the drugs, the alcohol, slowly started doing that, they would take over that whole Middle East real quick.
Indeed. Yeah.
Real quick. And they would have done it in a nice, easy, hey, let's be nice. Let's just give them this, give them that. And they would have took over. But they did it in a different way. They did it evil. So people see now that there's a shaitan there. They know there has to be shaitan there. So I was thinking, even with the atheists who don't believe, I'm like, look, you don't believe in a God, but you got to know that there's a devil, right? You're seeing it happen in real life. So then if there's a devil, there has to be an opposite to that. There has to be a God.
Yes.
So we reimagine or re-talk or take that conversation to a different level with your people during Ramadan, right? With your family members, with your kids, with your family. Because I do see a lot of kids becoming depressed. I do see a lot of kids having anxiety, taking medications, and in the Western society, that's what they do, right? It's a luxury to have anxiety. It's a luxury to be depressed.
Medication, the doctor gives the medication.
Yeah, of course. They take medications, the doctors prescribe. There's a happy pill that they take to make them feel better.
Go back. Happy pills.
Yeah, well,
What
it's
is happy pills?
certain medications that doctors pass out. I don't want to get to the names of medications because I'm not a doctor, so I don't want to get into the names of
Okay,
certain
but
things.
happy pills.
Yeah, like if you're tired, if you're sad, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, they give you a pill that can make you feel better.
Really?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you'll probably have a doctor on here somewhere that can tell you something about these medications, but we don't. That's a luxury to be depressed, right? You live in a country where sky's the limit, right? You have opportunities everywhere. And you think over there, what's happening to them right now, they don't have time to be depressed. They're trying to find food. They're trying to find shelter. They're trying to, they're trying to live their lives over there. Whereas over here, our kids see these things. And that's not just what's happening overseas. I see a lot of kids that when they watch the social media, right, they're constantly scrolling through, and the girls are looking at these other girls that are so pretty. They have these beautiful bodies. They have all these, their long hair, and they're so pretty, not realizing that what they're watching is filtered. It's a 5-second, 10-second, 30-second clip of a girl who's filtered or puts a ton of makeup on to make herself look so good. And then these little girls are watching, and they're just, why can't I look like that?
They're imitating each other.
Yeah, I want to look like this. How do I get this? How do I look like this?
Oh my Allah.
Mom, it's your fault that I don't look this good. It's your fault that I don't have this body. It's your fault that I don't have this hair. Why is my hair curly when I want, how many times have you heard it where you have a girl who says, I wish I had long straight hair, and you have another girl who says, I wish I had curly hair. Same thing with the guys, right? The boys, oh, my hair is so flat, or my hair goes out like this, but not like this. And we compare ourselves. And when our kids do that, they get depressed. They get sad. Why can't I look like this? So I tell the kids all the time, really understand, social media plays a big role in the way people feel. Think about it. When you watch a video, it can make you laugh or it can make you cry. Yes or no?
I agree.
Right? And so when we look at that kind of stuff, we have to remember that majority of the time, everything's fake.
Yeah. I get to the masjid, come to the masjid.
Mm.
I have a long hair. Say, how does this hair look? Oh, bro, Sheikh Ibrahim, it's the Sunnah. Prophet Rasulullah have a long hair. But brothers and sisters, are good actually here. Rasulullah have a long hair, and all the Sahaba have a long hair. But why? Why 3 times the Sahaba and Rasulullah have a long hair? Anybody can give me the answer? Sunnahfollowers here. Omar, my son.
Jihad.
Because what?
Jihad.
Explain English. Why they have long hair?
Because what are you talking about when they braid their hair? Because that's what we talked about yesterday.
Why the long hair braid the hair? Why they braid it?
No, to get it out of the way, so when they're fighting, it's not getting in their face, right?
Very good.
I keep telling him I want to braid my hair, and he doesn't want me to.
The people who say that Sunnah is not Sunnah. Rasulullah did, yes, he did. Long hair, yes, he did. But in order somebody chop their head, they can carry the hair, the head from the hair, the bloody hair, not because the sunnah here.
SubhanAllah.
That
I never
brother,
guessed that one.
yes, the reason
Mm.
if they cut the head, how they're gonna carry the head, by the hair,
Yeah.
not sunnah to follow what Rasulullah. He never ordered us to have a link. He ordered us to have beard. Yes,
Mhm.
order us is a beard is a farida, obligation. We have to that the hair because the war, as my son said, because the jihad, they chop their head, they carry the hair,
Mm.
the head by the hair. This is not sunnah. Whoever says sunnah, he is follow the sunnah first. Follow how Prophet Muhammad prayed.
So see, and this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean when I tell parents, have conversations with your kids, right? This is the month of Ramadan is where you can have these conversations, or you can watch the YouTube videos, right? An hour before dinner or half an hour before dinner, get the TV on and put a YouTube video on and then learn. Even if you don't know as a parent, because I don't know everything. So I'm going to put on a video and watch something with my kids. Okay, guys, we're going to shut everything down. We got, 30 minutes before we eat. Let's watch a video of something that we can learn together.
But Omar, by the way, when I went to the doctor today, but from here to the house, around 45 minutes driving. My son in the phone asking question. And not only, hey, back and forth. The key, I'm listening to my son, and I am giving answer.
Yeah.
And sometimes my younger son dispute, but that as far as not haram.
No, and that's what you have to have, right? You have to have, if you're not having dialogue with your family, if you're not having a conversation, then what are you having?
I agree.
Because right now, I understand right now, people working, people are busy with school, people are, there's a lot of things happening in people's lives. But we all know that during Ramadan, we all kind of just make a plan. Okay, this month,
it changes. Last week, I love it. I'm going to make khutbah al-Jum'ah about your statement last week. That the month of a change.
A month of change.
It's bitter.
Yeah.
Bitter. Yeah.
And I know, we all have our downsides. Nobody's perfect in any way, shape, or form. But I can't go into everybody's house and see what's going on in order to tell them what they need to fix. Yeah. As a parent, as a guardian, as a person responsible for a household, it's my responsibility to say, okay, let me see what's going on in my house and how can I fix it this month. I can use Ramadan as an excuse to my kids to say, okay, we're doing this wrong. And so let's try to fix it by doing it this way this month.
I love that.
Right. Yeah. And so when you talk about the kids, and this is what I'm talking to them about tomorrow when I go to the school, is this month is the month where it's going to be different. Right. I got out of Friday prayer last week. I was at one of the masjids and I left Friday prayer and I was walking out and I see all my, my cousins, my brothers, my family even the people from the masjid, they were like, oh, Ramadan's coming. And I go, guys, this is going to be the different Ramadan, man. I have a feeling. And I'm like, oh, well, what do you mean different? I said, man, this is going to be a different Ramadan. I feel like it's going to be better. I feel like it's going to be so different. I think something's going to change. I feel it.
I love that. To be optimistic.
Yeah. And
when you speak optimistic, yes.
And, you see the change in the men's eyes. As
I love that. Yes.
And even the little kids, as they're leaving the school, they're leaving the masjid after Salah, when they leave and they're going home. And they're like, yeah, I'm going to tell my mom and dad what you told us on Tuesday. I'm going to tell my mom and dad what you said. I'm like, okay, good. Alhamdulillah. It takes one person to really be able to change people's emotions, people's feelings, divide on other people. If you're going to be that person that's negative all the time, dreading all the time, upset all the time, nobody wants to be around you. And you shouldn't be around people. Haram. You're going to take people down. And they always say go down with the ship. People want to take you down with them. There's a lot of people who are sad or depressed or angry. And if you're not that kind of person that is able to bring those people out of that rut that they're in, then get away from that.
Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he came to change the corruption to the good things. That changed.
Yeah.
And now, alhamdulillah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the name of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, all over the world.
All over the world.
Even Red Indian, Native American, they heard about Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
And it's amazing because it's all over the world right now.
Yes.
And there's hadith that says it's going to be all over the world right now.
Yes.
And everything that's happening overseas is making it spread even faster.
Yes.
and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't really, they don't understand what's happening because they don't want that to happen, right? The people up on top, the people in charge, they don't want Islam to spread this fast,
Absolutely.
right? Because they know and they understand. Even, and let's just stick on one thing. Imagine all these people. The whole world says we don't want to eat pork anymore. What's going to happen? What's going to happen if the whole world says no more pork?
Bankruptcy.
Right?
Yes.
And that's just one thing that Islam like solves. Right? Imagine everybody in the world decides that they don't want to drink alcohol anymore. What will happen?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
I mean,
agree.
you think about that financially for them. That's what, because that's what they think. They should. The devil thinks by money. The Muslims think with God. Right? Think about that. The devil thinks with money.
Yeah, you're right
The
with that.
Muslims think with God.
By the way, if we pay zakat, all the Muslims in the whole world, if we pay the zakah
Yeah.
and the obligation, then every single Muslim in every country be rich.
But that's what they don't want.
They don't want to.
They don't want that. And
Agree.
because they understand that if we had all the Muslims with money, all the Muslims with education, all the Muslims, on top,
Yes.
they'd lose a lot of their
Yes.
industries.
But by the way,
Imagine the biggest industry they would lose the war,
the war. Yes.
military, the
Yeah.
spending, all the money that they're spending on all this stuff.
The military actually in different countries,
Yeah.
more money more than in other countries.
Of course, because that's where the money is. That's where,
Yeah.
and that's how you keep the people fighting. That's how you keep the people,
But
down.
the Islam never sees all this.
Islam never talks about this, and that's why and that's why the conversations you have with your kids, right? And you talk to your kids about these things because we can't talk about the other stuff because as kids you don't want to talk about the heavy duty stuff like pornography and all the haram, that bigger stuff. You talk about the little things. Talk about the pork. Understand? Tell them why we don't eat the pork, right? I know in Islam it says okay we don't eat pork, but show them the science
Why?
behind it.
Yeah, oh, scientifically, oh yeah. I
They
agree.
see it. They see it. There's
Why,
lots of things that say, and not just Islam says that. All the religions say that,
Yes. Yeah.
right? All the religions tell them. But then you have Christians who eat pork, you have Catholics who eat pork, but it's in your book that says don't eat pork. But they don't follow their own rules, right? And you look at the way the people view us Muslims, right? Even the people who are fighting us and the people who are trying to take us down, they say these guys, you cannot beat people who don't fear death, right? You hear that like they're afraid because they know that for us we fear Allah, we don't fear anything else. And so these are the things like in this month of Ramadan, these are the things you tell your children. These are the things you talk about during dinner time or while you're prepping for dinner, while you're cooking together, while you're cutting lettuce, while you're cutting the cucumbers, whatever the case may be. This is the time where you say, okay, this is the month where I'm going to talk to my kids about certain things that really never talked about. And your kids better than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know the age groups. If my kid's 13, 14 years old, I could talk to my kid about this. If my kid is 5 or 6 years old, I could talk about to my kid about this.
Yes.
If my kids are 20, 30, 40 years old, maybe I should talk to them about my past, right? Explain to them about your past. Talk to your kids about your grandmother, your great grandmother, so they know where they came from, right?
You remind me with my stepmom.
Mm.
My father had 3 wives. By the way.
Oof.
3 wives. My stepmom.
One is too many.
No, I had a reason.
I
Actually.
know.
My stepmom, by the way. Oh, by the way, I memorized the Quran
Mm.
from my stepmom. She was a blind.
Mashallah.
She went when I was in college. Who support me? My stepmom. Through my mom. My mom Egyptian and she's from Gaza.
Mm.
So I give the money to my mom for Ibrahim for that my stepmom, and she's the one told me when I become mature. My mom afraid. My father Sheikh. No, he know. She's the one taking me to the side and she spoke with me in details. I was, but mom don't feel shy.
Yeah.
Speak about everything is small, and instead your son, your daughter go online and find the solution there.
You have 30 days to really touch base with your kids
I
about
love
different
that.
things.
30 days
30 days.
or 29
Or
days
29,
at least.
yeah.
Just 30 days, 1 month exactly.
Yeah.
Open your heart with your son,
Yeah.
with your daughter.
One day at a time.
By the way, some kids only a mom. They have one mom, they have no father. And the opposite. Someone have the father only. Doesn't matter. You have one person in the house and charge in the house who is in charge in the house. Open your heart with your kids.
And little by little, right? Not
Step by step.
You don't do the whole, everything in one day.
You have 1 month.
Little by little, you have a month.
Yeah.
1 month. Today I'm going to talk about this. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about this. And then you have a conversation with your kid, because what ends up happening is the kid's going to start to say to himself, okay, wait, now I have a question. So when I'm cooking with my mom or when I'm having dinner with my family, I'm going to ask the question that, that's going to be my time to ask questions to my parents.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They're going to be more confident to start opening up to you and asking you questions because you've already opened the door for them to.
So now here, whoever listen to us, mostly parents or
Mhm.
or grandparents.
Or grandparents or
Right.
even
But
uncles.
then give me the advice here for those parents, how to start speak to the kids.
Again, you start
Before Ramadan starts.
Yeah, before Ramadan starts.
Yeah.
You start small, right? Small conversations, little bit of conversations
To prepare.
to prepare for them. And that, you as a parent know what you haven't told your child, right? You know what you haven't told your child. I know what I haven't told my child. So as my kids, my 16 or my 13, I know, okay, I haven't really told them about this, or I haven't told them about my grandma. I haven't told them about my grandfather. So let me start warming them up by having little talks. 5 minutes, not a whole hour conversation.
5 minutes.
5-6 minutes.
The best. Yeah,
the
I
best.
agree.
Short conversations will lead to big impacts.
And they will encourage to speak more.
Yes.
I love that.
And so what they'll start to say is, the kids will start to think. But that's what kids are always curious. They want to know, right? And right now, with everything that's happening around the world, our kids really want to know where they came from, and they need to know where they came from.
Yes.
They need to understand that that we're not. Nobody came here. Nobody's here. Everybody came from somewhere else, right? We've all fled different countries. We all left different countries to come to this country. So when you have that time, that 30 days, and you start slowly having these different conversations. I haven't taught my kids, let's say, for example, about my uncle. So let me talk to you guys this month about my uncle. Let me talk to you about I have 8 uncles. I want to talk to you about each one of my uncles.
I love this.
And little by little, 5-minute conversations. That second day will be a 5-minute conversation. The third day will be a 5-minute conversation. Guarantee you, by the 5th day, they're gonna want to have a 10-minute conversation. They're gonna want to have a 12-minute conversation. They're gonna want to keep talking about this stuff because it's interesting to know. Oh, maybe that's why I like math. But my mom and dad don't like math, but my uncle likes math. So maybe I got it from my uncle's side of the family or my dad's side of the family that I like math. You start to see, they start to feel, they start to understand why they are who they are. And this is the time of the month where you can actually change that mindset on these kids to let them see that that they have family that wants to help them.
Yes.
Encourage them, to make them bigger, to make them stronger, to make them smarter. And even as uncles, because I know sometimes I have my families, my brother's over, my sister over, my cousins are over, and my uncle, their uncles will talk. Get the uncles involved, get the aunts involved, get the family members involved. You have a grandma with you, mashallah, you're very lucky. Let the grandma get involved because the grandma has more information than you do about the family.
Yes.
Right? They've been there longer.
Yeah,
They know
yeah.
they know more. They know about the overseas. They know about the countries. Our kids are here. They were born here. They don't
Yeah.
know what's going on over there. Right? So when we talk about Ramadan, don't talk about it like it's a bad thing.
Yeah, but a lot of kids actually, like Salat al-Dhuhr, Salat al-Asr, oh, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I'm complaining. We have to fix this problem with the kids, especially with the kids.
Yeah. Well, our kids are different than the way we grew up.
Indeed.
Right? I played soccer, track, cross country, football, all that during Ramadan because we never really.
Yeah. But now we are different.
Now our kids are
different.
different. They run up the stairs during Ramadan. They're tired. They're hungry. They're thirsty. They're weaker than we are. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's the way they're being raised. But we gotta make our kids stronger.
How? This is very important for how.
And that's the question, right? How? Because every kid is different.
Okay.
Right? There's no one size fits all for each kid. You can't, I can't tell you and give you examples of how to make your kids stronger. I know from just me personally, I started to make my kid go to fighting classes, make him learn how to defend himself, get stronger, and I've seen it in the next couple of weeks of him trying and practicing, and he's been getting tougher. He's getting more confidence in himself, right? So these little things that I know my kid can do, you have to know your own kid.
Yeah, everyone has to know exactly the ability of your son, your daughter,
son or daughter. You have to know, their strengths and their weaknesses. And a lot of people, when you go to psychology or a therapist or whatever, they're going to focus on your weaknesses. They're going to focus on, oh, okay, you can't do this. Let's work on how you can do that. For me, I always focus on the strengths of people, right? And the more you know what your kid is strong at, what your kid is good at, and you can focus on that strength, that's where you build that confidence. What ends up happening is those kids will strengthen those strengths, and then they'll start to notice what their weaknesses are and say, okay, well, I'm not good at that, so let me figure out a way to get better at that weakness. So it's a way of understanding that there's no one size fits all. You have to know your kid, and then you can use this month to really kind of focus your energy.
Focus.
Yes, focus your energy on making them stronger, making them more resilient, making them more confident, making them understand that being Muslim is awesome. Like I think we lost that.
Just like a business strategy.
It's a strategy, and you have to use these last couple of days to strategize.
Yeah.
Think about your kids. Think about when you're laying in bed, put the phone down. How many people sleep with their phones over on their pillow? They're thinking, and the phone drops on their head.
No, my phone is really far away.
Yeah, but there's people out here that they're constantly on their phones. Or if you're using your phone in bed, look up ways to strategize and get ready for Ramadan with your kids.
Yes.
You know how old your kids are. You know what their strengths are. You know their weaknesses. What can you do as a parent or as a guardian, or as a grandmother, as an uncle? Even if you're an uncle with no kids, but you know your brother has kids or you know your sister has kids, how can you help that family?
We can.
You can.
Yes.
Yeah. It's and we forget that Islam, it's a community.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, we're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to be one ummah. We're supposed to help each other, right? We talked last week about how to give charity and help out each other, but we never really talk about how other family members can really have a positive impact on the kids.
Indeed. Agree.
And even I don't know if there's hadith or something like that talks about how to talk with kids, or how the Prophet dealt with kids. I mean, I don't know. You know better than me how the Prophet.
No, Ali speak خاطب الناس على قدر عقولهم. Speak to the people according to their mentality.
Absolutely.
Your thinking.
Yeah.
That at 5 years and 17 years is completely different.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So according to that mentality of the son, of the daughter, yes. Yeah. For example, I was in Texas actually in Masjid Ibrahim. We do karate. At least karate. Have 5 years and 17 years.
Okay.
So how I did how to hit for the 5 years and someone tough how to hit.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Completely different.
The key, you have to understand the mentality of them and come to their level.
And who knows better than the parents?
I agree 100%.
And so as a parent, also, if you have brothers and sisters and people around you, talk with them. Hey, listen, Ramadan's coming up. When we go to your house for dinner, I'm going to go to your house for dinner, or you're going to come to my house for dinner. Let's have a plan that we want to work on all the kids, having discussions with them on the dinner table.
Okay, something very, very important that we just mentioned. A lot of people go to the masjid.
A lot of people go to the masjid.
Please give me attention here. A lot of people go to the masjid, and also it's okay to eat with your own family in the masjid.
Of course, yeah.
To eat together. Why? Because I see actually when I go to the masjid, not every, sometimes I go to the masjid, especially to eat like here home. Sometimes I go to the masjid, I see everybody, the kids, like released.
Yeah.
Released like a present.
Yeah.
Released. And have no, what is your son? I don't know. I don't know. No, brother. Take opportunity also. You will go to the masjid, no problem with that. Sit with your wife or your son or daughter, sit with the family, fit in masjid. Plus, please, very important, Taraweeh.
Yeah.
Not only go to the masjid, eat and leave. Now we're going to go, what is the intention? Not to eat.
No.
For Taraweeh. Let your son, your daughter, sister, your mom, the mom and sister and her daughter, the brother, the father and his son is better to train your kids for Taraweeh. Some people Taraweeh, my masjid actually will not finish the whole. That is not the sunnah to read the whole Quran. So see a masjid, half page. Yeah, no problem. I think our masjid half page.
I think it's like
But the other masjid here has the whole entire Quran.
Yeah.
And some people actually 21 rak'ah. That was not a sunnah.
Yeah.
After you finish 10 rak'ah, you go home, pray with your home.
10
after that.
10 or 8.
Huh?
10 rakat or 8 rakat.
No, some masajid 20, Some people masajid,
Some masjids do 8.
supposed to. So yeah,
Yeah, or
8
10,
and
including the
3 home,
three
4 home,
home.
3. Yes, no problem.
Mm.
You know, the key, Ramadan, the whole
Yeah.
point of Ramadan, could not
Yeah,
connected to each other.
absolutely.
Household
Mhm.
and Muslim called in the masjid, of
Absolutely.
course. That's the key.
Absolutely, and I think we're starting to see, at least in this community. And I'll talk to the people out here. Maybe there's some city workers or some city people that work for the cities, but I'm noticing too a lot of cities down here are becoming more Muslim friendly.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a very important, he's in the government. And actually, I watched actually the police that he work with the police, all with us, support us, and they feel sorry. Why? Tell us how to help. The police station, every city, a police station, go and break. I am a Muslim. I need this and this and that. Speak up
and invite them.
Yes.
Invite them to the masjids. Do outreach, right? Because what I've noticed is the more times I bring people, non-Muslims, to these masjids, the more they ask, well, you guys are so nice. You guys are so peaceful. Why do people not like you guys? What is the... They start asking questions.
Brother Muhammad, very important. Repeat this again to everybody, please. Very, very important. Yeah, please.
So when we talk about outreach as Muslims, especially the imams, the board members especially, it's very important to let them understand and kind of pull these people in, commissioners, police officers, mayors, city managers, whoever is in your vicinity, in your cities. You got to go out there and knock on those doors and you invite them. They will start asking questions.
Plus, they're the Muslim work with them.
Yeah, and of course, there's Muslims that work there. There's Muslims everywhere. Alhamdulillah, we're all over the place.
Yeah. So don't feel shy. It's your right, number one, and you give your rights in your community.
Absolutely.
They can give you whatever you want. They're the key.
Well, you want to, because I think we have a habit with us, the masjids, where we want to hide. Right, we want to kind of keep to ourselves.
Some people, I don't know what they're hiding.
Yeah, it's weird because some of the masjids, we don't want police here. We don't want we don't want the mayors here. We don't want, but you need to kind of embrace them and
agree.
And what ends up happening is, and this is my 3rd year, I think, doing something like this, and they start, Mohammed, when is the next, when's your Ramadan coming up? Well, we want to go to your mosques. Last time I went, they stuffed me up with food. I took like 4 plates home, and I said, that's how the Muslims are.
Yes.
And we never knew that. We never knew that Muslims are nice. We never knew that, we see the Muslims on TV, watch the movies, we watch the social media. We think Muslims are always scary or mean, but we notice that when we come to your mosque for Ramadan, everybody offers us food, drinks. We go into the mosque and watch you guys pray. Because that's what we do, right? We let them come and watch us pray. They sit down on the back of the masjid and they're watching us and they ask questions. Well, why do you put your head to the ground? Well, that's how Jesus prayed. Wait, you guys believe in Jesus? Yeah, of course we believe you. Let me meet you, introduce you to the imam.
Yeah.
So the imam can tell you, because I can't tell you anything, but let the imam tell you about how we believe in Jesus. And that's how you kind of have that open dialogue.
Communication, yes.
And then they start thinking, okay, this makes sense. And slowly but surely you'll start to see how people's mindsets change when they're dealing with Muslims.
SubhanAllah, Gaza, all disaster in Gaza, the people, thousands got killed. A lot of people in America here, a lot of people got Muslims. And actually, on daily basis, become Muslim and Muslims.
Well, I was looking at the statistics because I like to read numbers. I like to see the numbers. And I was saying for every 1 person they killed in Gaza, I think they said like 3 people converted to Islam, or 3.2 or 3.3. So you look up these numbers because I just like to Google stuff just to see what's going on, because if people, I don't know how many, I go to different messages every Friday, right? For my job, I like to go to different messages.
Come tomorrow to Salam.
Inshallah, if I'm around that area, I'll go. I like going to that masjid. You're one of the imams that keeps me awake. I don't fall asleep. When I see you go to different masjids and you see 3 people becoming Muslim over here. Next week, I go to another masjid, 2 people become Muslims over here. You go to another masjid, another person converts to Islam. Like it's cool to go to these different masjids and see. And then you look at TikTok, you look at Instagram, you look at, I just converted to Islam and I feel so much at peace and I feel so happy. But then we have our own people who are Muslims and we're not appreciative of it. So we have to kind of talk about it this month with our kids to really let them understand that being Muslim, like, alhamdulillah.
Be optimistic.
Always.
Be what?
Always optimistic.
Be what? Be optimistic.
Absolutely.
Please. It's very important, especially train yourself from now, the end of Sha'ban now, train yourself the day of Ramadan, you will completely change to be better than you are before.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
If you're telling me, because people make a joke when I talk about stuff like this. The older, my guys, my age guys will say, "Oh, I don't need to change anything. Alhamdulillah, I'm good."
Impossible.
I say, there's no such thing as I'm good.
I can be better.
It could be better,
Yes.
right? And so, what are you missing? Right? Even I don't care if you're a millionaire and your life is perfect, mashallah, no bills on you, no stress or whatever. But there's something that you should change or you can make better.
Yeah. Last night, by the way, in ICBR, 3 sisters convert to Islam.
Okay?
Not Muslims, become Muslims.
Become Muslim.
Those sisters, speaking what? About Ramadan.
No,
About 3 sisters. One of them, my wife.
mashallah.
My wife. She's been one. But honestly, from those 2, 3 sisters spoke about Ramadan, me myself had changed a lot.
Mhm.
When they there speak, I love it. That's why I shared it in my Facebook.
Yeah,
media.
alhamdulillah, of course.
I mean, live. Yeah, that being plus whoever the majority of the people there, new Muslims.
Absolutely.
So Alhamdulillah, Sunnahfollowers and Sister Ziedeh, we spoke to the God. A lot of people becoming new Muslim. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Well, Sister Ziedeh also have to make a special day in Eid, that in Eid only for the new Muslims.
Inshallah. I think we have to. When you talk about who's presenting, right? You said yesterday 3 sisters
Yes.
talking. Whoever's conversing, whoever's having that conversation, whoever's having that dialogue with the people, whoever is presenting, you got to have like a good vibe, a good personality when you're up there talking.
Yes.
Right? You
course,
can't have that person that's a blah, boring
Yes.
person. If you're an imam, no offense, but you have to be optimistic, happy, excited. Right? You can't be aggressive and mean and upset or whatever that that feeling that you're talking when you're on the member and you're talking. Or if you're presenting and you're like, I've been through so many presentations in my career, in my life, that you have the guy who's just a terrible presenter, terrible, puts you to sleep, boring, and it's something interesting, right? It's something that interests you, but you don't want to be interested anymore because the guy who's presenting is terrible, right? So it upsets you.
Yeah.
But if you're an imam and you have, you're gonna have everybody with you for 30 days. You're an imam. You have everybody come to your masjid for 30 days. And you have that. I think they do a lot of messages they do between the 4s.
Yeah, 4
They have like a conversation or they have a talk.
You know what Tarawih is? What is Tarawih?
I don't know. You tell me. You're the imam.
Tarawih, by the way, relax.
Mm.
4 rak'ah and relax. Rasulullah gives small talk, relax. Because Salah, in the time of Rasul, Tarawih, long, Tarawih, long.
You can't do it.
11 rak'ah, by the way. 11, only 11 rak'ah. But relax and long. And in fact, I wasn't the first time I become an imam, more than 30 years ago. One day I made khutbah al-Jum'ah. And then one brother, he's in Khalid, now he's in Hawaii, vacation. Today I made that. And I asked brother Khalid, brother Khalid, Sheikh Ibrahim, I'm not coming back to your masjid anymore. He's then on board. I said, brother Khalid, why? The khutbah is wrong. So beautiful khutbah, but I'm not coming again. So why, brother? Why? I say, brother Ibrahim, hellfire. So go to Jannah. And honestly, I learned. Not only hellfire. Why? I think negative view to the people. Well, I learned from the brother Khalid, may Allah bless him, bless his family, why? Because why hellfire? It's scaring the people.
But you said something right now. You would never have changed if that guy never said anything.
Absolutely.
So this is what we tell these guys all the time. You got to speak up.
Yeah.
Right. Speak up to your guy. Hey man, every time I come to your lecture, you're just talking about hellfire all the time. It's depressing.
Exactly. But now if I speak of hellfire, I compare hellfire. But in the end, Jannah. Even I make a series for the after.
Yeah.
From how we were born, we die, and dead, but in the end, Jannah. For to be optimistic.
Yeah, everything.
Ramadan, the month to be optimistic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
In Arabic what? خليك متفائل. Yeah.
we always see that we always think that month of Ramadan is like just a regular month.
No, it's
Right?
not.
And we have to get that out of our mindset. It's not a regular month. It's a month of like changing what you think your family needs.
الله يقول شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان. شهر رمضان, the month of Ramadan, أنزل فيه القرآن. The Quran revealed to the first sky from the heaven to the first heaven, the sky, the whole Quran came. And step by step came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But what? الليلة القدر. So we have to wait. You never know, by the way, it's not the 27th of Ramadan.
You never know.
Wait, you never know. But even if it's supposed to be 27, prepare yourself from the beginning of Ramadan to reach that night, the great night. What? The dua. Dua be accepted. We want to be our dua accepted right now. My intention to pray change to be better than I did before.
And that's something that people think about. Like I said, when people think that their life is great and they don't have nothing to change, look at the way you pray, look at the way you eat, look at the way you do things, and say maybe I'm not praying. Maybe I pray too fast. So let me slow down. This is gonna be the month where I slow down my prayers. Maybe I pray too slow. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit because there's
Exactly.
So it depends on who you are. You know yourself better than anybody else knows yourself. You can go into a house. I can go into one house and talk to people and the families and see what's going on, and then we can make a list of things that we see.
But list is very important. Very important.
And so, as a family member, as a husband, as a wife, as a grandparent, as an uncle, you make your own list of the things that you think that you need to change in your family, and you start it now because you only have a couple of days left.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You start it now, and that way you can kind of say to yourself and your spouse or whoever's next to you, what do you think about my list?
Alhamdulillah.
Like, what do you think about my list? Do you think we need to add to the list, take away from the list? And you have a discussion now with your family members, with your husbands, with your wives, of what you guys got to work together on and how we can take our kids, our families to the next level. Right? And this is how you change your family. And then once you change your family, you're going to see the next month after that, the community starts to change. And then once you see the community start to change,
I like that. Yes.
Once you see the community changing, you'll see communities changing. You'll see
start with yourself.
Of course, always.
Husband, household, community.
The world. And so we forget that we have that saying, Allah doesn't help those who doesn't help themselves.
That's the ayah.
And so when we say that, do we really understand what that means? Right? As family members, do we really understand what that means? That Allah doesn't help those who don't help themselves? I mean, how many stories do they have of the guy who was drowning and he got thrown in life's vest and he said, I'm gonna wait for Allah to save me. The boat came, I'm gonna wait for Allah to save me. Like, we see these stories, we hear these things, and we don't really understand them, or maybe we just hear them and we say, oh my God, that's not me. But is that really you, or is that not you? Like, do you really appreciate everything you have? Do you say alhamdulillah for everything?
The key, alhamdulillah. Supposed to be alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you say alhamdulillah, Allah Azza wa Jal give you more reward, plus Allah will forgive you.
Of course, yeah.
Allah forgive you. When you say alhamdulillah, some of you say bismillah, alhamdulillah, Allah forgive me.
Yeah.
And that is the key. I love this alhamdulillah. We always say alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, we have Sunnahfollowers. Alhamdulillah, we have online. We listen to each other. Brother, alhamdulillah, Brother Mohammed is here. Alhamdulillah, we learn from him for our life to change, our kids to change to the best, inshallah. May Allah guide us to Rabbi Ya Rab.
We this month right here, we talked about a lot of different things last couple of weeks. We talked about charity, we talked about this, we talked about that. This month right here, I want everybody to kind of understand, because this is going to be the last one before Ramadan.
Yes.
Our last conversation. This is a very, very important month. I really do have a feeling that this is going to be a different Ramadan. And when we look at understanding our weaknesses, right, and we see our habits that we need to change. And I know just from my own personal experience with my father, who was always smoking, right, and he was always, the Ramadan was his like weak point. The smoking was hard to get rid of. He couldn't stop. He would stop during Ramadan, and right after he would run outside and light a cigarette up. We see the kids now who are vaping. We see
Vaping.
the electric cigars or electric cigarettes or all these different things. This is the month that and we all know those are bad for you. There's not
Hold on. Vaping is bad?
vaping's bad, smoking's bad. So
Yeah, smoking, yes.
yeah,
Smoking, yes.
but the same thing. It's
But the doctor give vaping to the people like that.
yeah, that they can give them whatever they want to give them, but it's still not good for you, right? And let me kind of explain to the people. There's no real research done on these things yet to say that they're safe, but there's a lot of research that says it's bad for you. So think about it like that. There's a lot of research that says it's bad. There's not a lot of research that says it's good. So when you look at the kids who vape, you look at the people who sell vapes, you look at the people who used it for years and years and years, and you see their teeth, you see their tongues, you see their lungs, you see their throats, and they're not smoking cigarettes, they're vaping. So this is the month right here where you say to yourself, okay, let me stop. Let me use Ramadan as my excuse that I'm going to stop this bad habit of mine. If I need vaping for some type of issue, then let me work on that issue that I have that makes me vape. Right? If there's an issue that you need, like let's say you want to smoke, you want to vape marijuana because you can't sleep or because you can't, then figure out. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why people vape or they say they vape. Look, I'm working in the field for such a long time. I've heard of all the excuses. Right? Oh, Mr. Muhammad, I need it because of this. Mr. Muhammad, I need it because of that. I can't sleep. I can't work. I can't function if I don't vape, if I don't smoke, if I don't have something going on in my mouth, if I'm not blowing in, if I'm not inhaling. And we do a lot of different techniques. A lot of counselors, a lot of therapists will tell you, well, when you're inhaling, you're basically just doing breathing techniques. You're breathing in and you're breathing out, but you're just including all the chemicals.
That smoke go to the lung?
Of course, yeah. I mean, they tell you, no, I just keep it in my mouth and I, or I keep it here and I let it go out through my nose or whatever they might tell you. There's always something going on in there. Right. And think about where it's going in. It's going in your lungs, it's going in your brain, it's going in. If you're telling me I'm smoking for marijuana to help me sleep because my brain is how I'm excited. And marijuana or
marijuana drugs.
Yeah, it calms me down. So that means it's going into your brain. So you're telling me that this stuff that you're putting in your body is going into your brain, it's going into your lungs. Find out different ways. Use this month of Ramadan to say, okay, I have a weakness. My weakness is I can't sleep. So in order for me to sleep, I have to smoke. I have to vape. But let me see if there's something else that helps me sleep that I don't need to do and put this bad stuff in my body. Maybe you're taking vaping because of whatever health reason you have. And maybe it's solving that one little problem that you have, but it's creating more problems on top of that. So my advice to everybody out here, if you're a smoker, if you're a smoker, if you're a vapor, even if you're a Muslim and you drink alcohol, because let's be real.
Some Muslims
there's Muslims that drink alcohol. They won't eat pork, but they'll drink alcohol.
No.
Yeah, come on. We all know somebody who drinks or something like that.
I don't. Believe I don't know anybody drink and I come to the masjid. I live in the masjid. Masjid, I didn't see people drink.
So, but for the people who live outside the masjid,
I live in a story.
We know people.
But I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna. We don't want to put names or.
But I know some people vape.
Yeah. There's a lot of vaping around. That's the new cool thing. That's the
cool.
Yeah, I guess you're not cool. We have to be cool. Next time I come, we're gonna bring vapes for me and him to vape on here together. But I think that's not really worth it, right? We have enough chemicals in our foods, chemicals in our breads, chemicals in water. Why add more chemicals to your body with vaping?
Ramadan coming up, we can change.
We can change.
And if you do that, brother, I'm not speaking halal or haram here.
No.
But I'm going. If this is bad, as Brother Muhammad said, inshallah, my intention, I'm gonna cut it off.
And figure something else out. Figure something else. If you have a habit of vaping, of drinking, of smoking, whatever you want to do, figure out this is the month where you figure out how to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Right. And so I can't tell you what to do. You can't tell them what to do. That person that's having that habit has to figure out themselves why they're doing it, what they're trying to accomplish, and how can I change it.
Allah. Again, everybody here, please.
I forgot what I said.
You guys, yeah. Yeah, we need
No.
advice.
Yeah.
We just almost 4 minutes left.
Yeah,
We need
figure it
advice.
out. Figure out why you're doing it.
Why we doing it? What is the reason you smoke, right?
Yeah, what's the accomplishment behind it?
What exactly you're going to accomplish of that smoking?
What is it? Like, what's it doing for you? And
What
how,
the benefits of you?
yeah, and how I can change that
How you going to change
to make it into a different habit.
better than smoking?
Better than smoking,
That's
better
what-
than vaping, better than drinking alcohol. I don't know what the reason is.
I have to find out
You have
what
to find
the
out
reason.
Yeah.
I mean, when those people smoke,
Mhm.
not the cigarette, a lot of people, but the vape,
Mhm.
Find out why I'm vaping, right?
Yeah.
But some people are going to make that. But the kid, when the doctor give him that,
Yeah. And then you have to ask yourself, well, okay, what other options are there? Right? Go to a doctor and who's telling you that. Say, what other options do I have? Right?
the key
Other than
you
vaping.
have to ask.
You have to ask. If you're not going to ask, you're not going to know.
I love this.
Right? And a lot of people, they go to Dr. Google and they ask Dr. Google.
Check Google.
Check Google, Dr. Google is doing Google Michelle is everything. Ask a real person, doctor who knows what you're going through. Who you're gonna sit down with and explain to them, okay, look, I'm vaping because I have a lot of anxiety, or I'm vaping because I have a lot of stress, or I'm vaping because I can't sleep. So you go to the doctor and you ask them, like, I got all these problems. What else is there other than this? Because I don't know what's inside of this. Maybe he tells you that there's this one thing inside of it, but has to be other stuff inside of that chemical to make it the way it is. So and then actually do your own research on your vape, right? Go to Dr. Google.
Actually, I have an
idea.
idea. Inshallah, I'm going to speak to Dr. Kamal. He's Dr.
Okay.
Kamal. He is in South Carolina. If he agreed to do a lecture about the baby specialties, he's the doctor.
Mm.
So his doctor actually is a sport doctor. He's the big judo.
Mm.
And yeah, he's the best one to speak about this.
Yeah, of course.
It's not Islamically, scientifically.
Yeah, medically and scientifically.
Yes. Yeah.
Listen, don't get me wrong. If THC oils can fix up people. Because I remember there's THC oils that people who have chemotherapy and people who do who are going through cancer, they take these medications to help them eat, to help them sleep, to help them get through the chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And I've seen some people that actually works on them. It doesn't get them high. It doesn't get them, they don't get that high, don't get that stuff, but it helps them.
Oh, trust me, brother. All kind of painkiller,
Mhm.
all kind of illicit drugs. When I was sick, I take it.
Yeah.
But honestly, nothing helps.
Yeah.
That's why I divorced this painkiller.
Mhm.
Yes, I struggle a lot. It's pain,
Of
severe,
course,
severe
yeah,
pain. But alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah.
but the key, the intention.
Intention. You
My
have to, yeah.
intention, I want this.
And this is the month you create that intention.
This is the month, the great month. That Shahr Ramadan, the month of Ramadan is the best month to change the West.
Sure.
I have
That's it.
3 minutes, brother and sister.
No, 1 minute.
1 minute?
Not even.
Sorry for that. Maybe I know if you have a question, let us know, inshallah. But brother Muhammad, next Monday gonna be Ramadan.
Inshallah.
Then we're gonna make a schedule, inshallah, with Sister Layla, bi'idhnillah. We say it's gonna be what we're gonna do in Ramadan, bi'idhnillah. We're gonna start the time in daytime. After that, that. But inshallah, not going to be after Maghrib because everybody eating at that time at the Maghrib time. And Isha, everybody go to the masjid, inshallah, include myself, inshallah. But we'll make a suggestion. We get opportunity, jazakallah khair, opportunity for our brother Mohammed for our habit, ours to change our habit, to change to the better.
Inshallah.
And the key, maybe you are good, but our kids, our family, we have to be united. If you are united, we'll never be defeated.
Absolutely.
We have to be one hand together, inshallah.
Inshallah.
brother Muhammad, جزاك الله خير وبارك الله فيك. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring this Ramadan for all Muslim ummah, all the Muslims around the peace and tranquility and victory for all of us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this month, sooner or later, all of us to pray inside the Masjid Al-Aqsa together. Free in Masjid Al-Aqsa inside. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Please, Bismillah.